these are some problems that I created in order to learn the functions of this calculator that our GED students use on their testing. I provided the answers, that way you can check and see if you're doing it correctly. So let's go over the first problem that has to go over fractions. So as you'll see, it teaches us how to do not only a normal fraction, but also a mixed number. And then we will learn how to convert it into a decimal, all using this calculator. So the first thing we want to do is learn how to enter the fraction portion. So you see this button with n over d. That allows you to create the fraction. If you see the little green above it, if we enter the second key, we can now use that function, which gives us the mixed number. So now we can plug in our number, which is 2 over 3/4. So we plug in 2, and we're going to use the arrow key here to shift up to the top of the fraction, which is the numerator. We're going to enter 3, go down to the denominator, and enter 4. Now to complete the rest of the equation, we're going to push the arrow to the right. Now we're going to use the regular fraction symbol, place a 5 in the numerator and an 8 into the denominator. Move the arrow to the right next to the fraction. Now that we have completed the equation, we're going to go ahead and press enter and get the answer 27 over 8. Now, the reason why we're going to turn this into a decimal is so we can learn how to use this nifty button here. I believe it's called the toggle. If we push this button, it should actually convert the fraction into a decimal. And there it is. So once it's converted, it's 3.375. If we wanted to convert it back from a decimal to a fraction, we would just press this button again, and it would convert it back for us. Now, the second question here has to do with equations that deal with multiple brackets. And the reason why I'm having that is because there is a way to enter that entire equation into this calculator and get the correct answer. We are going to make use of these parenthesis buttons here, and we're going to use these in place of the brackets because all the brackets are different parentheses to show us that there is an equation within the equation that we need to solve. So we're going to enter 5, enter the parentheses, 2 plus 4. Now we're going to enter another parenthesis, 8 minus 4. So since we have the parenthesis here on this side, we need a second one to close off the entire equation. If you don't enter that second parenthesis there, it will read it as an error. So once you have this all entered in, press enter and it should give you the answer of 90. The third equation is to help learn how to enter exponents. So if x is equal to 5 and we want 5 cubed, what we want to do is first we want to enter the main number or the base number, which would be 5. Now to enter the exponent, you want to use this specific little key here that looks like an arrow facing upward. That allows you to enter in the exponent. So now you'll see that there's a box, the upper right hand corner of the 5. That is where we'll enter the number for the exponent, and you can enter any of the numbers needed, but since we're doing cubed, we'll enter a 3 and press enter, and now it should give you 125. Next we'll be learning how to do a square root problem. So we're going to learn how to do square root of 25 on the calculator. So here the normal button is x to the second power. But if you see the green above it, there's your square root. So we're going to have to press second, push this button, and it gives us a square root. Now we can enter the number we want to square. Press enter and you should get 5 as your answer. We're going to go ahead and clear that. Now for this next equation, it's pretty simple, but we're going to be focusing on it because there is a proper way of entering a negative number into the calculator. Most people would want to put the subtraction symbol in front of the 4 in order to make it a negative number. However, you don't want to do that because the calculator will read it as an error. You want to use this button here, which is the negative symbol within 2 parentheses. That's how they know that it is a negative number. So now you can enter 4. So now that is -4. You can put in the rest of the equation and you should get -1 as your answer. Go ahead and clear that. Now we're going to learn how to convert this number into scientific notation. Now there is actually a different mode on here. So if you go here to mode, it'll bring up this screen. And so where it says DEG that's flashing, that's where your cursor is right now. So you want to go ahead and move it to this SCI and press enter. Now, if you notice at the very top right there, it has SCI. That means you are now in scientific mode. So we can go ahead and clear this. So if we just enter in that number, then we can go ahead and delete that if we need to. 1, 2, 3. And if we push enter, it'll change it into scientific notation for us. We can go ahead and put clear. So say we wanted to convert out of scientific notation. So focusing on number 7, if we wanted to do 3.7 times 10 to the power of -5. If we press enter, and remember it's still in scientific notation, it'll give us the same exact equation. However, if we go back to this nifty little button, it'll convert it out of scientific notation form, and it'll give us the correct answer here on the left side and the equation on the right side. So we can go ahead and clear it. Now, sometimes an issue with putting your calculator into scientific mode is it's hard to get out of. So there is a way to reset the calculator completely. So if you look here on 0, there is the reset button. So we're going to go ahead and push second, reset, and go down to number 2, which is yes, and press enter. So now the memory is clear. We can clear it again. You'll notice the SCI is now missing. So that means it's back into its original mode. And to turn off, we'll go ahead and press second and off. And there you have it. Those are really the basic functions that students really need to know in order to complete their math test.